Hey guys, and welcome to the Monday Movie Memo, where we like to catch you up on things that happened over the weekend and get you prepared for the week ahead. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm still dragging from San Diego Comic-Con. And thank you so much for paying attention to all of our coverage that we posted on Cinema Blend over the past couple of days. We were buried in San Diego starting on Wednesday and going all the way through till Sunday, covering the biggest panels and reacting to all of the major footage that showed at this massive annual event that tracks most of the projects that you guys are very interested in. And so you read all about the Marvel panel, and you read all about the Mad Max Fury Road trailer, which you can now watch online, and you read about the Hunger Games Mockingjay teaser, which we also have on the site. So a lot of really good things that showed up. But I want to ask a couple of questions about some of the things that didn't show up, which is a little bit unfair because a lot of times we in the media and as nerds sort of speculate way ahead about what we think a studio is going to announce. And some stories break and talk about like, oh, these huge announcements are coming to Comic-Con, and then they don't. And we kind of wonder, like, were we hyping them up? Were we making these things up? Did the studios change their minds at the last minute? And the one that really stands out to me, and we're going to touch on 3 of them, but the one that jumps to the top of my mind, and it's, listen, I understand it's really unfair because we saw a lot of really great things at Comic-Con. And you can read about all of those things, and you can read about all of our comments and our reactions to things like the Avengers Age of Ultron footage and the Interstellar trailer and some of the things that really blew us away. But we are going to focus because there was a lot of chatter after a lot of these panels of why didn't we see so-and-so? And the one that I really want to focus on is because the person involved teased it himself. And I want to know why The Rock wasn't announced as a DC comic book hero. And to be fair, he's been alluding to this a couple different times on doing Hercules press, and we all just assumed, and that's our fault. We just assumed that announcement was going to come at Comic-Con. The Rock has been talking about, he talked in an interview with Yahoo Movies about how he's been having these conversations with DC, and then he went ahead and tweeted, and I'll put this on the page where the story's embedded. He tweeted this photograph of Superman and Shazam fighting Black Adam. And so, you know, Warner Brothers has this panel, and they show a little bit of footage from Batman Superman, and they show you the reveal of Wonder Woman in her costume, Gal Gadot, and in her Wonder Woman costume, and they teased the hashtag DC Trinity. And there were a lot of people who went into that panel wondering if we were going to get some more confirmation about who's going to be in the Justice League and who are playing some of these other heroes, who's playing Aquaman, is The Rock playing Shazam. There's going to be a new Green Lantern and an Arrow that are going to fit in the cinematic universe because now we know the TV's not going to cross over. So I want to know what happened. Like, was The Rock lying, or, you know, did he sort of tease this stuff early? He got a lot of flack for teasing this early because everyone's like, oh, The Rock doesn't know how to do Comic-Con. He's already revealing who he's playing before the panel even happens. And then the panel happened, and then we got nothing out of it. So, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think it's a contract dispute? Do you think he's still trying to figure out, does he know who he's playing, and when are they going to have this reveal? Because if you're going to reveal who The Rock is playing in a DC comic movie, where else would you reveal this but at Comic-Con? And the funny thing is, too, like, Rock was there. He was there with Hercules, and he was there on, the days all sort of blend into one. It was a Thursday or Friday. I think it was Thursday during the Paramount panel. And we have the video of that on Cinema Blend also, too, and you really need to watch it because he's incredibly entertaining and charismatic. And I'm guessing that he had a ton of Hercules promotional stuff to do because it was opening that week and he had to go to the world premiere and it was going to be in Los Angeles and he had to do a lot of press for that. And I understand that. But Rock tweets the picture of Shazam, and then there's a DC panel or a Warner Brothers panel, and then they don't announcement. It just has all of us sort of scratching our heads and wondering, like, did The Rock lie? Is he dragging us along? Is he teasing us? What happened? And while we're on the topic of what happened with Fantastic Four? We reported going into it, Simon Kinberg, who is deeply involved in the new Fantastic Four reboot, has said that they're not coming. They're not going to have any kind of footage there. It's not ready. But, you know, we attended the Paramount panel and nobody expected Christopher Nolan to be there, and then all of a sudden Nolan showed up. So we all sort of sat through the Fox panel, and the Fox panel was relatively entertaining. The Maze Runner looks good. Kingsman: The Secret Service, Matthew Vaughn's next one with Colin Firth, looks amazing. Like legitimately, that was that was probably the most entertaining footage that I saw at Comic-Con. Aside from Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron looked incredible. But I guess we got to the end of the Fox panel and we were like, are we at least going to get like a title treatment? Are we going to get a picture of the cast? And nothing. Not even an acknowledgement of like, hey, we're working on a Fantastic Four movie and it's going to be great and look for it next year and thanks for your support. You know, and someone joked on Twitter, oh, I guess that Comic-Con isn't the target audience for a Fantastic Four movie, which blows my mind. I mean, how do you have a Comic-Con and not tease one of your biggest superhero like last year Fox did the X-Men Days of Future Past, and it's Comic-Con. They brought out all of their actors playing superheroes. I mean, you would think that they would have some sort of presence for Fantastic Four. And what I'm guessing is, this is speculation, but I guess that the powers of the characters in the Fantastic Four are so complicated to bring to the screen. It's not like Spider-Man where you can put someone in a costume and mimic them swinging against green screen, or, you know, Batman, Superman. If the two of them are in their costumes and they're staring at each other with glowing eyes, it's enough to fire up fans. If the Human Torch looks wrong, if the Thing looks wrong, if the stretching abilities of Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, look wrong, they're going to get judged. And so I guess I do understand that it's complicated and that you need to perfect the look before you roll them out to fans who are a little bit skeptical about how this is going to work in the first place. But, you know, when Marvel rolls out a reel of Ant-Man stuff, even though they haven't even begun filming yet, that's how you do it. Like, people come to Comic-Con looking for footage, and I'm wondering what happened to Fantastic Four. What happened belongs to Marvel. And again, this isn't fair. Like, Marvel came with Avengers Age of Ultron footage, and they blew the roof off of Hall H. So it was fantastic. They owned the panel. The footage looked incredible. As soon as you guys are able to see it, you're going to be amazed. It looks like a different film. Like, it doesn't have that sort of TV gloss that the first Avengers film has. It has a gritty, sort of plunged into the action. I keep telling everybody it looks like an indie film with superheroes in it. And I mean that in the best way possible. Like, Whedon is really doing different things with the way that he's filmed the footage of Age of Ultron, and I'm dying to see how it all cuts together. But Marvel has a slate of, 7 or 8 films that have no titles to them. Now, we know the Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2 is going to get one of those dates, but we didn't see Doctor Strange. We didn't hear a date for Thor 3 or a third Avengers or any of the solo standalone things that we think we're going to get. Black Panther or Miss Marvel or any of the things that are sort of rumored. It was an opportunity for Marvel to sort of lay out their slate a little bit better, as they have in the past. Like, there have been times when they've held a panel and they were like, the Captain America sequel is going to be called Winter Soldier, and Thor is going to be called The Dark World, and we're going to have the Guardians of the Galaxy, and they laid out what they were going to do. There are theories as to what it is. Maybe they don't know yet. Maybe they think they know who they want to play Doctor Strange, but they didn't solidify anything. Or, this is the prevalent theory, maybe they just wanted to close out Phase 2. Like, maybe they wanted to bring Phase 2 to an end with Avengers 2 or Avengers Age of Ultron next May, and then start fresh. And I understand that. That makes sense. Because I also think at the end of Age of Ultron, that Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to be in a bad place. I know that Joss Whedon doesn't really care for the ending of Empire Strikes Back, but I think that he's going to have an Empire-type moment where the status quo of the Avengers team is going to be disrupted in a big way. And a lot of these heroes, particularly Tony Stark, are going to be left questioning the value of what they do as a team and whether it's worth all the sacrifice that goes into it. So maybe those decisions drastically shape what happens in Marvel Phase 3, and that's why we haven't heard like what's coming and when. But it feels like Avengers Age of Ultron is going to conclude with some massive changes, and maybe those changes will dictate what happens in Phase 3. So we're very appreciative of everything that we got to see in Hall H and all around San Diego Comic-Con. But there were at least 3 instances where we were just like, what happened? Like, Rock, you tweeted a Shazam picture. Fox, you have a Fantastic Four movie coming, and that's the audience that needs to see it. And Marvel, what is your phase 3 and beyond? We want to know all these things. So we will continue to track all of these stories. But coming out of Comic-Con on a Monday morning, as I sit down and record the Monday Movie Memo, those are the 3 things where I was definitely, scratching the old head and just asking myself, what happened? So thanks for watching the Monday Movie Memo. Continue to read all of our great coverage on Cinema Blend, and I hope you guys have a fantastic Guardians of the Galaxy week.